What if the reason you feel stuck isn't your circumstances, your boss, your relationship, or your past, but a choice you're making right now without realizing it? Stay with us, because we're going to sit with that question together, and there's a guided meditation waiting for you at the end. Here's the frame for the next few minutes. 2 ideas, and they only work as a pair. The first: the world around you is constantly communicating something deeper if you're willing to listen. Every frustration, every unexpected kindness, every strange coincidence carries a signal beneath the noise. The second: what you do with that signal is entirely up to you. Not fate. Not your upbringing. Not the other person. You. Together, these 2 ideas quietly dissolve the feeling that life is something being done to you. Let's ground this in a scene you'll recognize. It's a Tuesday afternoon. A colleague sends you a 2-line email. Short. Clipped. Something about it feels off, like an accusation slipped between the words. You read it once. Then again. Then a third time. Hunting for the tone, you draft a reply. Delete it. Draft another. Soften it, sharpen it. Delete it again. By dinner, you're still there, still replaying, building context around those 2 lines, writing the version of events where you come out clean. You barely tasted your food. You were somewhere else the whole evening. And here's what's actually true: those 2 lines said almost nothing. Your mind wrote a novel on top of them, and without noticing, you handed the rest of your day over to a story you invented. That's the moment we're going to look at together. Most of us are walking around with a pair of invisible headphones on. And through those headphones plays a running commentary over everything we experience. Every conversation gets narrated. Every silence gets interpreted. Every setback gets a backstory, a villain, a moral. You didn't write this commentary. You can't quite remember when it started. And you certainly can't turn it off. The strangest thing about it is how familiar it feels. It doesn't sound like a narrator. It sounds like you. It sounds like thinking. It sounds like just seeing things clearly. That's the trick of it. The filter has been on so long you've mistaken it for the world itself. Go back to the email. What actually happened? Physically. Photons hit a screen. Letters formed. Your eyes moved across them. That's it. Everything else, the sting, the defensiveness, the story about what your colleague really meant, the small movie of past grievances that started playing in the background, all of that was the commentary. Not the event. The commentary about the event. And we spend most of our lives arguing with the commentary as if it were the thing itself. Now here's the first thing that starts to change everything. Underneath that commentary, something else is always broadcasting. A quieter signal, not mystical. Not vague. Just quieter. Think of the email again. Underneath your reaction, if you'd been able to hear anything past the noise, there might have been a signal. Maybe, this person is stressed and it has nothing to do with me. Maybe, I've been waiting to feel dismissed all week and I finally found something to hang it on. Maybe, There's a real conversation to have here, and it isn't the one I'm rehearsing. That's the signal. It's information, not drama. And it was there the whole time, but you couldn't hear it, because the volume was turned all the way up on the commentary. This is the first insight. Every moment, the traffic, the awkward silence, the boss's tone, the friend who didn't text back, is carrying information, not fate. Not a message from the universe about your destiny, just information about what's actually happening in you and around you. And we've mostly been too loud on the inside to hear any of it, which would be a discouraging place to stop, because if that's all there is, we're still stuck listening to something we can't turn off. So here's the second insight, and this is the one that actually changes the shape of your day. You are the one holding the volume dial. You always have been. Stay with that for a second, because your mind will try to skim past it. The interpretation you gave that email, that was a choice, not a conscious one, not a considered one, but a choice. Nothing in those 2 lines made asterisk you spend 6 hours drafting responses. Something in you decided what those lines meant, and then treated that decision as if it were a fact reported by a neutral observer. This isn't about blaming yourself. This is the opposite of blame. Blame would be another layer of commentary. This is about noticing something structural between what happens and how you feel about what happens. There is always a moment of interpretation, and that moment belongs to you. Not to your childhood, not to your personality type, not to the person who sent the email, to you. Right now. Every time. That sounds like it should feel heavy, like more responsibility piled onto an already full plate. But notice what actually happens in your body when it lands. Something loosens. Because if the interpretation is yours, then the interpretation can change. You are not a passenger in your own experience. You never were. Let's go back to Tuesday. The email arrives. You read it. You feel the sting. But this time, before you draft the reply, there's a pause. Not a long one. Just a breath, just long enough to notice the commentary starting up, the narrator warming up his microphone, ready to explain to you what this email really asterisk means, what this person really asterisk thinks, what this says about your standing, your competence, your worth. And in that pause, you turn the dial down, not off. You're not pretending you didn't feel anything. You're just lowering the volume enough to hear the quieter signal underneath. Which might be, these are 2 lines on a screen. I don't actually know what they mean yet. I could ask. I could wait. I could let this be small. The email doesn't change. Your colleague doesn't change. Tuesday afternoon doesn't change. But you don't hand your evening over to an invented story. You have dinner with the people you're actually with. You sleep. That's the whole shift. It's not dramatic. It's not enlightenment. It's just remembering, in one small moment, that you were holding the dial the whole time. The low-grade helplessness most of us carry around, that hum in the background that says life is something happening to asterisk us, It doesn't dissolve because we finally get the boss, the relationship, the schedule, the body we wanted. It dissolves the moment we remember we're the ones deciding what any of it means. Life doesn't get easier. The emails keep coming. People keep being complicated. Tuesdays keep being Tuesdays. But it stops feeling like something being done to you. You stop being the person things happen to and start being the person who chooses how to meet what happens. And that's a very different way to walk through a day. Before we move into the meditation, just notice, without trying to change anything, where in your life the commentary has been especially loud lately. What conversation you've been replaying. What story you've been building on top of a few thin facts. You don't have to fix it. You don't even have to disagree with it. Just notice that you're the one who's been listening. And that means you're the one who can turn the dial. Let's sit with this together. If you're finding value here, you're welcome to like the video and subscribe. And now, let's shift into a quiet guided meditation together. Let's begin by letting the body arrive. Feel wherever you're sitting or lying down. Feel the weight of yourself supported. Notice the places where you meet the chair, the bed, the floor. And let the breath come without your help. You don't have to shape it. Just notice it moving on its own. Now, gently, bring your attention to the sounds around you. Whatever's here. A hum. A distant voice. The room itself. And notice, underneath those sounds, that there's something quieter. A kind of listening that's already happening. You don't have to reach for it. It's just here. Let the shoulders drop a little. Let the jaw soften. Let the space between your eyebrows unclench. And if there's a conversation you've been replaying today, let it be here too. You don't have to push it away. You don't have to solve it. Just let it exist in the room with you, like weather passing through. Notice the commentary that comes with it. The little voice explaining, defending, rehearsing. Let that voice be here too, without arguing with it, without agreeing with it. Just noticing it, and remember, quietly, without effort, that you're the one listening, not the voice. The one hearing the voice. Rest there for a moment. Underneath the noise, there's a quieter signal. You don't have to find it. You don't have to force it. Just leave a little space for it to be heard, and feel, if you can, the dial in your own hand. Not to turn anything up or down right now. Just to remember it's there. Breathe in. Breathe out. Nothing to fix. Nothing to figure out. Let this moment be enough. Let yourself be someone who is allowed to stop, even briefly, from writing the story. And when you're ready, no rush, let your attention widen again. The room. The sounds. The weight of your body. The day still waiting for you, but softer now. Take one more breath here, and gently come back. Thank you for practicing with us today. If you'd like, there's a link to a free digital copy of ACIM in the description. And if this video resonated with you, Please comment. I am grateful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving yourself these few minutes in a day that probably didn't leave a lot of room for them. If you take one thing with you, let it be this: you're not at the mercy of what happens. You never were. Be gentle with yourself this week. We'll see you next time.